Okay, so one of the things that you're going to do a lot is you're going to actually create a lot of blog posts. And these blog posts on your site represent the latest news. So this is the stuff that you're going to constantly be putting up there to talk about maybe a new fundraiser coming up or supplies that you just received from a donor or whatever it may be. Any of the latest news. This is going to be the fresh stuff that people come to all the time to see what's new and what's happening with you. So in the backend editor, you can go to the post section and you can see these are the 5 posts that we have on your site right now. You can click on the name of the post and get into it to see how it's built. And by seeing how it's built, you can see how to build your own. So notice we have the name of the actual post. This one's a little bit involved. It has the first part of the information, then it has an image, and then it has something called a fancy quote to make a really cool looking quote. And then we have the rest of the story. Notice also that we have categories we can add. We can change the format. If we had a video, if we made a video of something, then we want to change this format to video because then it would bring up other settings that we could upload a video into or put an image into, etc. You can also tag things like put keywords in here that people might search for to actually get this blog post to come up. So our tag might be Albert and it might be homeless and it might be rehabilitation, whatever it may be. And then anybody who search on your site for rehabilitation will come up with all these news stories that relate to that one keyword. So in the post featured image, this is going to be where we see this. So as we come down to the homepage, you can see this tiny little image that represents this article. And then when we click on this article, normally what would happen is we would see that image really large right here. But I've suppressed that really large image because I wanted it to go here on a before and after image. So if I come back over here, the before and after image, as you can see, it's a part of the content. Now, editing your blog posts and adding content and doing some fancier stuff, go to the tutorial video about adding page or editing a page or a post so that you can learn how to actually add your content, edit your content, delete, do fancy stuff, etc. But this stuff is what you need to know for doing a proper blog post. So that featured image is going to show up as the image for the post. So if we go to the latest news section, notice that that featured image shows up again here, and it's always a good idea to have some representative image because people remember images more than they do words. So this is an easy way for them to easily be like, oh yeah, this is the exact one that I was reading the other day, let's click on it. Rather than these ones that don't really have any images, it's hard for them to kind of say, which was the one that I was looking at that had the information I need. So let's go back in here and create our own post. So let's click add new. And with this new post, we'll be calling it something like supporting our veterans. And this is where we're going to add our content, add our blog latest news content here. So again, I always do that just to see if it's active and working. And right now I just want it to show the page title, and I can choose what happens when somebody hits the back button. Do I want them to go to a certain page? Right now I'm just going to let it be. And I do want to hide the feature image on the post, but I'm going to leave that unchecked for right now so we can see what that looks like. All right, so we can add some categories. So let's say we had a category of veteran and add that in there. And there it is. And maybe we want to put serve, like us serving, helping people who, are homeless or have different needs or who are veterans. That's what this whole thing is about, is our ability to help them when they helped us. So we can add as many categories as you want, and we can also tag this. So if we put veteran, serve, statistics, military, whatever those tags are, they're keywords that'll help people find this story. So again, this is a fake story, so I'm not really sure what the content would be. I would go look through the actual content and put categories and put tags that related to them. All right, so let's set the featured image already optimized in Photoshop or in Web Resizer. It's this photo by Stephanie McCabe. So let's go back in here and upload this file. So we're going to select that file, and I think it's on desktop in a Rising Up folder. There we go. And there we go. It's 1000 by 667, so it's still pretty big, but it's not, you know, massive and 6000 pixels wide as it originally was and would take forever to download. So we'll upload that, and make sure when you upload any image that you come over here and you add a title and a caption. So if you don't know what a caption is going to look like, what I would do is I would put, this is the caption, okay? Or if you want to just add the caption, because this is pretty easy with this photo. Like if I didn't know, if this was a picture of a person and I didn't know their name, I would put a placeholder here. But for here, I'll be like, a firework being held with an American flag. Okay, so you can use the same caption for the alt text. The alt text is alternative text for people who have disabled the images, or they can't see, or they have some reason why they're not seeing those images, and they have something like a screen reader that will read this alternative text so they know what the image is about, even if they can't see it. It's really important for accessibility, and it's essential that you do this for every image you add to your site. So with that alt text added, I can give a longer description. If this is going to take me somewhere else, like a link, I can put that here. So I think this is okay. You don't have to put a caption if you don't want to, but you must always put alt text, and you don't have to put a description, but again, always alt text. So if this were going to be a video, you can put the video URL, whatever, but I'm just going to click set featured image. And with that featured image, where'd it go? There it goes. It popped right in there. Let's go ahead and post this. Again, you can save it as a draft, you can preview it, or you can publish it. Now with blog posts, once you publish it, it automatically is going to show up. You don't have to worry about it being in the navigation at all. So we'll go ahead in here and we'll hit refresh. And there you go. So now you can see that blog post shows up with the featured image. It has that little blurb, and it'll always take the first kind of Twitter size version of, or Twitter size selection of your blog post and put it, and then always give details so people can read more. And let's go ahead and see what this blog post looks like. And let's see what it looks like on the home page. Let's refresh this. Oops, that's not the home page. That's silly. We'll go to the home page and see what it looks like here. And as you can see now, we have that new blog post here. If we had more content, this wouldn't be so uneven, but it's working. So let's go back in here, and there's that featured image. And notice that it lists our categories right here, which I didn't really like that, but and here's all of our information. And if you like the featured image, great. If you don't like the featured image, you can go back in here and look at all these settings, so we can hide that featured image. And let's see if there's anything else. We can put an excerpt if we wanted to. We could actually even add a slideshow if we want to, but we don't want to for this one. And I think it's looking pretty good. Let's update it and then come over here and refresh it. And that featured image should go away. So here's the content, here's the title of our blog post. It no longer has that featured image. It's still going to be in our latest news section, that featured image. And maybe I could have used it elsewhere, but I kind of like when the blog posts start with some of the content and then have the picture, so I kind of do it backwards sometimes. That's up to you. But it's still going to have this featured image here. It's just not going to have it in the content itself. It's not going to be in the actual blog post. So you can choose whichever you like. So the last thing I want to tell you about blog posts is there's a lot of things that you can turn on and turn off. You can go into the front end or the back end editor. You can do fancy shortcodes to do some cool things in your blog post, just like you can do as shown in the tutorial video about editing the page or editing blog posts. You can do all that kind of stuff. And the other part is the screen options. So there are a lot of things you can set in here, and sometimes it's a little overwhelming, the amount of things that you can change. So this is where it shows you with checkboxes what's going to show on your page, what options it's going to give you to change, and what options it's not going to give you to change. So if I click comments, if I come down here, now I should see a comment section, so I can actually add my own comment to this blog post. So there's a lot of things up here that's kind of suppressed. See, send trackbacks, discussion, author, slug. So slug, let's see what those are. So the slug is called supporting our veterans, and that's basically when I come in here, see how it says supporting our veterans? That's the slug. So if you wanted it to be something like April 2017, like that's the blog post you did in April 2017, you could change it here so your URL changes. Nobody ever does that, but just wanted you to know. You can also change your author here, so I could change it to Jane Doe if I wanted to say, you know, yeah, I put that up there, but I didn't actually write that, so I can change the author here. And then I can actually add a slideshow, all that good stuff. So anyway, those are the basic blog post settings that you're going to mess with. Just make sure that you remember, you know, feel free to change this. Go to your page, hit refresh, and see if that's what worked for you, if that's what you wanted to have happen. If it didn't, just come back in here and change one of the settings back to the way you had it, save it, and you should be fine. Or you can again look at all the other blog posts that have previously been created and see how they got the way they are and kind of learn from deconstructing an already finished piece. So hopefully you get working with those blog posts. If you ever have any questions, let me know.